What's going on, everybody? We are back at it. Hope you had a good 3-day weekend. We are now looking at our first day in the market in 2024, and over this weekend Bitcoin created a new 52-week high, and we saw the Bitcoin miners pop pre-market, but now they're starting to cool off a bit as the day kicks forward. Now in this video I'm going to show you Bitcoin on the chart. We have something coming up for CleanSpark. It may drop any time now, and I also want to show you guys something to look out for on Sphere 3D's chart. Now let's get started. If you guys like these videos, you know what to do, and first off, let's look at Bitcoin. And on Monday night, Bitcoin created a new yearly high. We did get a pattern break and a reaction to it. Bitcoin got all the way nearly to $46,000. It's cooling off a little bit now, and it does look like the miners are cooling off a little bit as well. And like I said, any of these pullbacks are great buying opportunities. Friday was a great day to add some of the Bitcoin miners, and I do believe we're going to see that throughout the rest of this year. Any dips, any pullbacks on the Bitcoin miners are going to be great opportunities to add. But Bitcoin's looking fantastic, creating new yearly highs. These new yearly highs will bring more new yearly highs, and the halving is getting closer and closer as the days progress. Now I do want to talk about CleanSpark a little bit. First off, I do expect a lot of price targets to come in. Right now on TipRanks, the 12-month forecast actually expects CleanSpark to come down due to the analyst price targets, but I do expect a lot of these to change. And as CleanSpark continues to make new yearly highs, this will catch the analyst's attention. And while I do think you should take these analyst price targets with a grain of salt, it is overall a net positive to see increasing price targets, and I do expect we'll start seeing that very soon. And before we get to CleanSpark's chart, I do want to mention that their Bitcoin mining update is coming out any day now, and their last mining update came out on December 1, going over November. So within the next couple days here in January, we should see their December mining update. So keep an eye on CleanSpark's investor relations tab. This should be a pretty big update going over Sandersville and how close we are to that 16 exahash target. We should also be hearing about them getting their joules per terahash down, which means more efficiency. But it is going to be a big Bitcoin mining update in my opinion, and I will be covering it when it comes out, so stick around. Now looking at CleanSpark, it does look like we're starting to break this trend, and while we did see a nice pre-market pump, the market's starting to take all of that back. So we'll see how we end the day today, but already it does look like we're starting to get a little bit of a cool off here. And in reality, everything's going great. Bitcoin just created a new yearly high. But because this happened Monday night while the market was closed, and now Bitcoin's cooling off a little bit today as the market finally opens, I wouldn't be surprised to see these Bitcoin miners close the day slightly red. And that's okay because, you know, great things are going on. Bitcoin just created a yearly high, like I just said. And I do believe by the halving, Bitcoin in price will be much higher. Now I do expect a little bit of fear around the halving because obviously, Bitcoin miners' rewards are going to be cut in half. From the day before halving to the day after halving, they're going to be taking in half as much rewards. And I do believe the market will react negatively to that. So I do anticipate some deals at some point moving forwards on CleanSpark, but you also have to consider we might be much higher by then. We might be in the 20s potentially, before we have the media pumping that narrative that, you know, the halving is so bad for the miners, when in reality, Bitcoin's price action will more than make up for the mining rewards being cut in half. But we will have a great buying opportunity pretty soon in my opinion, and if we do get a candle to close under this pattern, we may see that pullback sooner than we expect. And while a lot of people find it unlikely at this point, I do think there's still a possibility to fill that gap, but we're gonna have to wait and see on that. But thanks to this pullback for CleanSpark from the 13s down to 11 now, the RSI has reset. It is much closer to neutral, so when we do get on our next run, we'll have some room to run. But the chart is overall bullish. We saw our golden cross back in the beginning of December. The moving averages are curling up, and I do expect overall, medium to long term, CleanSpark will end up much higher in price. And for any of you wondering about my covered calls, I still do have the $20 strike covered calls expiring on 19th of January. And I find the likelihood of CleanSpark doubling in price within the next roughly 17-18 days to be very unlikely, but it is possible. But one thing you have to realize, if, you know, in this short of a period of time, if CleanSpark does get to $20 by the end of January, that would mean this is nearly 10x'd from its lows. And on the off chance that this $20 strike does hit by then, I would be okay with $20 being my first sell point for CleanSpark. I know it's early in the cycle, but with this running up so much, CleanSpark has definitely become a very heavy weight in my portfolio. And if it does double from here within a month, CleanSpark would definitely be quite overbought. But let me know if selling CleanSpark at $20, if it does get there within a month, is a mistake. I personally think it's not going to get there, and it's going to be some easy premium, but we'll see what happens. I also want to talk about Sphere 3D, and you can tell on the chart, it looks like it's just a few steps behind CleanSpark. We went on this crazy run. It does look like we're starting to break this trend, and I think it would be a great buying opportunity if we do see this trend break for Sphere 3D. But I do want to show you this. Look at this 50 and 200 MA. They're finally curling upwards for the first time, in the last couple of years. And I want to show you what happened last time Sphere 3D did this. Back in 2019, we did get a curl of the moving averages, and soon after we got a golden cross and Sphere 3D went on a multi-year run. Obviously, this is partly due to the halving, but look at what's happening here. History is repeating itself. I do believe soon we'll get that golden cross for Sphere 3D, and we will have a couple of great years in this coming halving. But to me, it does look like some of these miners are ready for a little bit of a retracement, a little bit of a cool off. They've definitely been flying high over the last couple months, and some healthy consolidation wouldn't be a bad thing in my opinion. And in the end, it would be a great opportunity to buy the cleansparks and the Sphere 3Ds out there. But overall, today is a great day to start the year. Now let me know what you guys are buying out there. What do you expect for cleanspark's mining update? And I gotta say, it's pretty awesome to see Bitcoin create a new yearly high on the first of the new year. 2023, especially at the end, ended up being a very exciting year, and I think 2024 and 2025 will be even better. But let me know what you guys are watching out there. Thanks as always, guys, and here's to another great year.